So we've looked at the output assign and making sure things get to the stereo fader here. But what we're going to talk about now is using the bus sends, which take groups of individual faders and send them to a single fader to be controlled on the bus lane. To demonstrate this, over here I've got 4 channels with different parts of a drum kit playing through all constantly. So I'm going to turn the stereo fader up, and now I'm going to bring in each part of the drum kit one at a time. So here's the kick drum. I'm going to bring in the snare drum. I'm going to bring in the hi-hat. And I'm going to bring in some rim shots. Now I'm going to adjust them until I get to a volume that I like for each one. So I think that sounds good. But if in the show I had to fade all of these up to those exact position every time I just wanted to bring the drum kit in, then that's going to cause me hassle. If someone asks me to turn the drum kit down, then I've got to maintain that relative position between all those faders, and you can see I just can't do it. I'm a human being, it's not possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch off the stereo send for each of these faders. So I'm going to press select on the bass drum, and then on the output assign, switch off the stereo. And then I'm going to do that for the snare drum, then for the hi-hat, and then for the rim shots. And so now we're confronted with silence. But I'm going to send all 4 of these faders so that they're going to bus number 1. So the first thing to do is for the kick drum, press select. Then over on the output assign, I'm going to press number 1. Then for the snare drum, select, output assign number 1 again. For the hi-hat, output assign number 1. And for the rim shots, output assign number 1. Now, on the layer section of the desk, I'm going to press bus 1 to 24. And all I have to do to bring the drum kit back in is make sure I turn up bus 1. And you see it's preserved the exact relationship between those faders that we had before. So now if someone asks me to turn up the drum kit, I can just turn that one fader and it keeps the exact relationship between the different ones. If I want to turn down the drum kit, exactly the same process applies. If I decide that I want to hear a bit more of the kick drum, the bass drum, then I would just jump back to layer 1, turn the bass drum up a bit, go back to the bus layer, and I'm still controlling that new relative mix with just one fader. And that is how you do output assign to a single fader for multiple faders. You'll find that if you're doing one of the shows and you've got, for example, the whole big band coming through on layer 1, we're looking like something like that, then it's a dramatic improvement on ease of use to have just one fader to control all of them. So that's how I would recommend setting up a show, and that's output assign.